Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. So I'm really not sure why I said yes to this job, but in this video I'm going to be replacing this toilet valve in this tank. So it does appear to be perfectly functional, but I'm going to go ahead and open the tank and show you what's wrong. So this is an older style valve. This is called a ballcock valve. The newer style toilet valves are usually pretty self-contained and they don't have this huge float. But the problem with this one is not that it's leaking, because as you can see right now it's perfectly stationary. But the problem is this valve flushing arm, every time you flush it, this ball gets in the way of this, and then this gets stuck on it, and then the flapper doesn't close, so then it just starts leaking until you manually mess with it. Also, this valve just leaks like all over the place. Really not good. Really just needs to be replaced, honestly, because these are just an old piece of technology, and the newer ones are a lot more reliable, and it's like a $10 job. So I've made it no secret that I really hate plumbing jobs, especially any plumbing that relates to sewage, and toilets definitely fit into that category. So I've been dreading this job for a while, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And what makes this a little different is that unlike a lot of the videos I've seen where the valves are just like, you know, right next to the toilet and you can just turn it off and it's on the wall coming out, mine is on this side of the toilet, and you know, you're gonna have to excuse this really dirty wall. It's not actually that dirty. I wipe it down every week, but it still looks like that. My valve is all the way over here, and it looks like it's really accessible, but it's like really not, because like it's really hard to get tools and stuff back there. So I thought I'd make this video for anyone who wants to just see the process of doing it. I've never done this before, but I'll just film it for fun. Maybe it'll be funny for you to watch, or maybe this will just be one of those videos who gets like, you know, 10 views and never does anything, but we'll see. So the first thing you gotta do is turn off the water, obviously. So I think this one you just have to, oh, okay, yeah. And that looks like it's off. This probably needs to be replaced, this valve. I probably want to replace it with a quarter turn valve in the near future. This escutcheon here is also just like completely corroded. I don't know if you guys can see that. And there's a solid supply line. I'll probably replace the supply line with one of those braided ones just because that's pretty easy, but turn off the water. At this point, you're gonna flush, and that should get rid of most of the water, but there's still gonna be some left. Of course, you can see that even though the flapper is open, nothing's gonna come down because there's still some left in the tank. That's fine, so you're gonna go ahead and get a little cloth and maybe a little small bucket to catch this water once you remove the valve. So I'm at the Home Depot right now, and you can see there's quite a wide variety of different valves you can pick. I'm gonna pick the fluidmaster because it's the cheapest one, but also because it's just reliable. Something I like about it is also the fact that if you were to have to replace this stem here that actually installs to the toilet can stay, and you can just pull this part up and then just slide a new one on in just a couple minutes. So that's really easy. So the first thing I did here is I removed the supply line from the tank. So I went ahead and unscrewed that. You can see I did put on some gloves here because even though this is technically just cold water, it is near the toilet and I didn't really want to get, you know, splash back on me. So I'm using a pair of channel locks here because obviously it is a little tight. It has been seized there for about 20 years, so sometimes it can be tight, but you just go ahead and use your hands and pull that down. I have a rigid supply line. You can see it's leaking a little bit, but I just went ahead and bent that out of the way. In this case, since the supply line was looking a little, you know, ugly, I went ahead and just pulled the whole thing out, and I'm going to go ahead and replace that with a braided line. There's also a nut that secures the actual toilet valve into place, so you got to remove that. All that does is it mechanically fixes the valve to the tank. At this point, I went ahead and remove the stainless supply line from the valve at the bottom, and like I said, I am going to go ahead and put in a new supply line. So this is the new valve I chose. It's a fluidmaster. You go ahead and just put it in. It should be 3 inches above the top of the overfill tube, so you just go ahead and measure. It shouldn't be that specific, and you can also adjust the height of the device when you put it in. But you can see here I am. You can also adjust the height of the float to, you know, depending on how high you want your water level. But I went ahead and did that. I also went ahead and cut off this really ugly escutcheon. I was going to replace the whole valve down here because it was one of those multi-turn, really annoying valves. But this valve is like, you know, it's sweated on underneath the tiles, and that's just a pain. Also, here's a fail. This is one of those like plastic one-piece split escutcheons, and I just kind of ruined it, but that's all right. So I went ahead and put that you know, tube back in, and there it is.